to all living things that cry out for peace.
Well, hello Dragon Ball Super fans, it's Sam Khan here. I am back, as you guys can see by the title of this video. So today we are going to be focusing our attention on Frieza. We all know that Frieza will indeed be participating in the upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie that has been announced. However, we don't know the type of involvement that Frieza will have in this film. We saw Frieza in the Tournament of Power, and ironically enough, he was, in fact, uniting his powers with Goku at the ending of this arc to successfully defeat Jiren. Now that is a visual and a picture and a moment that we shall never forget. I know that I speak for the entirety of the fandom when I say that that was somewhat of the epic scene. Getting to see Goku and Frieza working together was just priceless to me. Frieza has been the being that pushed Goku back on Namek to ascend into a Super Saiyan, the most iconic, to my eyes, moment, and possibly the entirety of Dragon Ball, I would say. The moment, the very first time that Goku summoned this power, and Frieza was the reason. Frieza was what caused Goku to ascend into a Super Saiyan, and I know I've said that numerous of times in my videos, but I don't think that I can ever really, fully point out the fact that Frieza is a really important person when it comes to the Dragon Ball universe. I'd say for many reasons, a cornerstone in the anime, because it was what started it all, I would say. But that's on a side note. Now, the question that a lot of people are asking is how Frieza will, be portrayed in this movie, and what will be his participation. How exactly will Frieza participate? And what I'm trying to imply is, will Frieza have a villainous intention in mind in this movie? Could there be some kind of a connection between Frieza and the new Saiyan that the movie will feature? A lot of questions, and even though we don't have the answers to those questions, it's more than fun to speculate, and in this video I wanted to talk about all of those things. So I hope that you guys do stay tuned and follow my thoughts throughout this video, because we're gonna be talking about Frieza in this one, so I hope that you will enjoy, and without any further hesitation, let us proceed. Now let's start from the beginning and analyze the facts that we already possess in our hands. What we know thus far is that this is called a Dragon Ball Super movie, and anyone that would make a logical assumption is that since at the ending of this arc, Frieza was revived by Whis. This was Beerus's gift to Frieza for helping them survive, I suppose. So Frieza is now back to life, and that's how it's even possible for Frieza to be introduced in this movie. Now, as I said, we don't know the type of involvement that Frieza will have in this movie. I will say that I doubt that he will have a protagonistic part in this movie. I think Frieza already had his movie that happened in 2015, so fans were skeptical of Frieza's involvement in this movie, just so because we've already seen the best of him in a way. We saw him in 2015, he was in Super as well, he came back to see the Resurrection F arc, which was a retelling of the movie, and then at the ending of the arc where basically we saw a lot of him fighting in the Tournament of Power. So while all of us love Frieza, a lot of fans did not really expect to see him in this movie, and that is certainly raising questions. And the big question that I'm trying to answer in this video is whether or not Frieza and the Saiyan somehow know each other. That is such an interesting question, and I just would love to see a dynamic like that. As I said, we don't know what is Frieza planning to do in this movie. At the ending of Super, we saw Frieza reuniting with his army as if though he's ready for something. And I'd say that the ending of Super is most definitely setting the ground for something bigger to happen. Frieza's back to his villainous intentions. He stated that perfectly well at the ending of Super. He said that he is not planning to change, that is who he is, and that's who he will continue to be. So Frieza will keep being a villain, we need not to worry about that. But I think that this is a really important statement to understand what is Frieza going to be doing in this movie. And I think it won't be something pure. It will be something evil and something that will definitely want to cause destruction, perhaps. Now, while we understand that Frieza will stay on the villain side, that still does not explain whether or not Frieza and the Saiyans somehow know each other. I think that would be a really interesting concept for this movie, if somehow there is a connection between them, or is this Frieza, final attempt to take over the world or something? I think though that is a scenario and a concept that Dragon Ball has already used a lot of times. And Frieza coming back, we even saw that in Z. So I would prefer the Saiyan coming to Earth to have, to have an individual cause of his own, to have some sort of a different type of motivation to go after Son Goku or the others. So I hope that Frieza is not behind that, but it would, however, be really interesting if Frieza really did know this Saiyan. Now, I guess that remains to be discovered, and we still don't know a whole lot to speculate on that. But ever since I personally discovered that Frieza would be in this movie, I think this is a question that would inevitably pop. So basically the point that I'm trying to make in this video is that while Frieza is a really powerful fighter, I heavily doubt that he will be the main threat in this movie. We do know, and it was perfectly stated at the ending of Super, that Frieza will keep on being a bad guy. But I think Frieza had his moment to shine, and I want to see the Saiyan in this movie and what he can do, why he came to Earth, what are his motives, and why now? What is going on, and why is he seeking revenge, from what it would seem? And dare I say, I think that this is a really powerful fighter, and maybe he will work together with Frieza in the movie, but I don't know. I have my mixed feelings about seeing a lot of Frieza in this movie, because I think they had to allow the story more of a space for the Saiyan to, I guess, state and express himself in this movie, and I think he will. But I'm just really curious to see what exactly will Frieza do in this film. We know that he will be in it. Super basically confirmed that Frieza is still an evil guy, because a lot of us got confused, and with the Tournament of Power, many people believe that now Frieza is suddenly a good guy, and Frieza basically stated that for himself. He made it perfectly clear that I'm still an evil dude, even though we work together, that doesn't change things. But he will be in the movie. Now, God only knows what he will do, but in this final portion of the video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Saiyan, because, as I said, we know little to nothing about him. We've hardly seen what he looks like. We don't know his facial expressions or what he looks like in his face, but I'm getting this feeling that whoever the Saiyan is, I think he will be just mind-blowingly powerful for some reason, and he has to be, he should be. A movie's dedicated for this being, so I can only assume that he's more powerful than anybody Goku or anyone's has ever faced before. And as I said, it makes a lot of sense. That is his movie, and that is his moment to shine, and I believe that this film will definitely prove that the waiting was worth it. And I hope that that's the case, because this is the reason why we're not seeing weekly episodes of Super, and I know that that hurts. It hurts me, and I know it hurts a lot of people out there that were really fond of Super. So, I guess only time will tell, but I think that this movie will definitely be different, and it really strikes my curiosity. There's gonna be a series of videos that I will produce talking about this film. This one was, I wanted to focus my attention on Frieza. I find it quite peculiar that Frieza will be in this movie, and I just wanted to talk with you guys about his participation and how you view this whole Frieza, aspect of the movie. Let me know down in the comments section. I really want to know your thoughts, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit the video up with a like. Share the video, share my channel, share my content so that more fans of Super can get to see the video and the channel as a whole. But I guess if you are a fan, as always, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome daily content. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I am Samkan signing off here. Ciao, adios, goodbye.